Last one.
Riley, let's talk about your expectations for the upcoming season for York football.
I like just keep playing hard, keep working hard. Hopefully we'll win quite a few games here.
You know, when you talk about winning some games, what is the ultimate goal? Win a few games or maybe take this thing to the end one time?
I think we definitely qualify for sectionals again and hopefully win that game and keep going on.
Looks like Livingston County Division III this year is up for grabs. A lot of teams, a lot of balance, some inexperienced teams. Not a lot to think about other than going out there and playing Friday nights. Where do you guys see yourselves in the mix on that?
I think we'll be more towards the top than that. We have a new line and everything, but we have a pretty good strong line, so I think we'll be okay for that.
Ready, say go.
As a young kid growing up, following the bigger kids that you looked up to, how important is it your senior year to make this thing right for you guys?
I think the most important thing is it's like a big family. I mean, everybody's welcome to support each other. It doesn't matter if you're younger, if you're older, you're all part of the family.
What does KPO mean to you?
It's pretty much the family. I mean, KPO, Knights Proud One. So everybody together, we're all like one big team.
Ready, say go. Get there, good job. Right there.
Jake Van Norman, senior year, Coach Amory's talking to him before today's practice, says, you know, you've had a really good offseason, expected to be your #1 receiver this year. Talk about your expectations for York.
We're a young team, but we got a lot of guys stepping up this year. Not a lot of people on other teams know about a lot of our guys, but doing good, stepping up. It's been a good first week so far.
You know, talk about, you know, what do you think the offense is going to bring to the table this year that might, you know, might be surprising to some teams this year?
Last year we were kind of like a packed-in team, real tight, like big guys just driving forward. This year we're more of a spread offense, a lot of passes, a lot of screens, a bunch of little quick guys this year.
What do you think? What are some of the characteristics that you bring to the York team? What are some of the things that you do well?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Just wide receiver. I got some speed. This is my first year being a receiver. I've been quarterback all my life. First year being a receiver, I'm excited about that. So got a little more excitement being at receiver now.
You know, talk about the sophomore quarterback, Cody Dubiel, you know, and his relationship with you on the, you know, throwing passes. You guys seem like you're on the same page today at practice. Talk about that relationship.
We've been working with each other all summer, maybe a little bit in the past. And yeah, he's a good quarterback, young quarterback. But
how nice is it to have a lineup there that looks like they're pretty well in sync so early in the season?
It's good because I know I'm gonna get the ball because my quarterback's protected. Because we got a big, good line, a lot of smart guys.
Set. Hit. Hit. Come on, push. You last one.
You know, how important is it that York has that off-season weight program that you guys are so dedicated to? Talk about the importance of that program.
It helps. That's what wins championships. Working hard on the off season and being prepared for the season and in the weight room every day.
What are you guys looking like defensively? Looks like, you know, a small school sometimes you take your offensive line and you just flip them right over to the defensive line because the numbers are a little low. Talk about being a two-way player at such a small school level.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of work. A lot of work in the off season. That's what helps out the most. And bringing Coach Glue in, running our defense this year, it's a little bit new. And I feel like it's gonna help us out a lot because we've been rough on defense the last game.
Ready, say go.
Talk about your first game with Avon. Obviously, a real challenge to start the season. They're coming off a Section 5 championship to the state quarterfinals. Obviously, that's going to be a tough ball game.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be tough. And it'd be nice to beat them the first game, take that championship right away from them.
Talk about what it means to be a York Golden Knight.
It's awesome. I mean, I couldn't have picked a better school to be at. I'm playing under Coach Amo for the last 3 years. He's the best. He's almost like my dad. He teaches me everything.
Put your sneakers on. You'll be in and out of there. Okay, if you work hard, 30 minutes or less. All right, bring it in. Nice Proud One on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Nice Proud One.
All right, we're recording. So just look right here at Chris and
Coach Amory's, you know, another great time of the year. Football season opened up. You know, one of the first things I noticed is, again, just such a close-knit group you got. Talk about how important that's going to be this year as we lead into the season.
Yeah, well, we always preach family. It's a cliche with football coaches, I know, but we believe in the Knights Proud One motto, and
We take care of our younger players, and we've groomed them all the way up through. So we do feel like we have a close team.
You know, while I noticed that closeness, I also noticed that offensive line's a little young. You got a freshman and a sophomore, but then again, you got 3 seniors.
Yep.
So it seems maybe the balance is there. Talk about, you know, they always say every successful team has a successful line. Talk about your line this year.
Well, you know, we like to think of ourselves as we are young this year, but we're always going to reach for success. And you know, there's some young kids, and we're hoping the older kids bring them along. And you know, as far as their talent goes, they have a lot of talent. It's just going to be a matter of gelling as a line and learning their responsibilities. But I think the future looks bright for the line.
2. That's all we're working on. Okay. So everything's out.
You got a very young team in terms of skill positions. A sophomore quarterback, some juniors in the backfield, a couple juniors on the outside, a senior. You know, talk about your skill position kids.
Well, we do. We have only 2 returning starters from last year on offense and defense. So, you know, they're kids that were waiting in the wings last year, though, on the same token. So they're not totally new to the game, new to the varsity level. So they're excited about it more than anything, and now it's their turn to really take a shot at it. So it's there for them to go take.
You know, had a great season last year. Obviously, disappointing semifinal loss, tough to a tough Clyde Savannah team.
Yep.
Does, you know, I know it's too early to say where's this team going to end up, but is that some of the goals, and maybe get back into that sectionals bracket again?
Yeah, we never talk about sectionals. It's just my theory. We have to win the division first before we even get there. So perhaps maybe I'm wrong in thinking that, but you have to, as long as you have to win a tough Division III title in order to make sectional. So we don't even look that far ahead. So we're looking at the D3 as being the most competitive I think it's been in a while as far as teams being equal. We've won 3 out of the last 5, and I'd like to make this the 4 out of 6.
You know, talk about some of the teams in that Division III that might, give you a little test this year.
Well, Perry and Corey Dillon embarrassed us last year on our home field, so that's definitely a #1 thing to kind of focus on that game. Geneseo has everyone back, so they're going to be better. And the Southern Tier teams, I know Cuba, I talked to the coach yesterday, they have 40 players on the team, and they had no seniors last year. So, like I said, every week's going to be a battle, and I'm looking forward to it. I want a lot of close games.